So Elon Musk is absolutely getting wrecked today, and I want to show you guys how and why. And let's just jump right in. So first, this is from The Guardian. They say Elon Musk 2025 recap, how the world's richest person became its most chaotic. And basically they feature Elon swinging the chainsaw around. The dude's basically an addict, both off camera and on camera. And it's so obvious, he's been following the story, which we all have been on this channel. This is Susie Wiles, and this is the chief of staff over in the White House. And then she knows Elon very, very well from when they worked together when Elon was at the Doge stuff. Because a quote from her, she says, Elon's attitude is you have to get it done fast. If you're an incrementalist, you just won't get your rocket to the moon. And if you don't know, Elon hasn't gotten his rocket to the moon. He blows up rockets all the time, and that's essentially his working attitude. This is a quote from her. So with that attitude, you're going to break some China. And if you don't know the relationship that they had, it was reported that Elon had to report to her once a week, and they would basically, she was the counselor / babysitter and try to keep everything under control. But people like Elon is just a total loose cannon. And you look at the way that he, interacts with people and the people that he hires, essentially, it's insane. This came out today. Lawyer representing Elon Musk in the OpenAI legal battle with Sam Altman is also a working clown. Can't make this up. I guess his lawyer has some sort of thing called clown cardio. And there it is right there. There's his lawyer. Elon's a professional clown lawyer. And we're talking about he teaches some sort of clown classes or whatever. And I know it's as ludicrous as it sounds. And guys, if you want to do clown classes, fine. The point being, though, is that Elon Musk's whole world is surrounded with these kind of people. And it's funny because someone was actually trolling Elon today. Have a watch at this.
We're at the Tesla showroom service center, and it looks like they're completely closed. There's nobody here. Broad daylight, sun is shining. There's nobody here. Hello? Is anybody there? There's nobody there. Obviously nobody. Hello? Anybody here? Can't even get in to buy a car. I mean, they took over $3 billion from California taxpayers, and you can't even get in to buy a car. This is absolutely ridiculous. Hey Grok, how much money has Tesla received from California taxpayers over the years?
Hey, from what I've seen in reports, Tesla's pulled in over $3.2 billion in subsidies, tax credits, and incentives from California since around 2009. That's a mix of direct grants and market perks. Pretty massive boost for the EV push.
Where does that money come from? The taxpayers?
Yep, straight from California taxpayers. Sales taxes, income taxes, property taxes, you name it. It's funneled through state programs like the California Air Resources Board and Clean Vehicle Rebate Project. No magic money tree.
Look at this. They're not even open where we can buy a car. This is ridiculous.
So as you can see, that was basically a riff on the Nick Shirley videos. If you've seen those things, you know exactly what we're talking about. But I thought it was pretty clever because it is true. Tesla has benefited and Elon Musk has benefited with SpaceX, much on government subsidies and contracts. Tesla's sales outlook darkens despite Musk's self-driving euphoria. And essentially, they're forecasting for their sales and deliveries to go down. And in contrast, other car companies are basically clobbering them. This just came out today. BYD hits sales goal set to topple Tesla as the biggest EV maker. And so while Tesla's in decline, BYD is going up, right? Now, it is true that their growth is slowing because it's hard. There's only so many cars that you can sell. But already, I think BYD, they're 4.5 million cars a year, something like that. 4.6 million vehicles delivered last year. That's quite a lot. Put it in contrast, Tesla's around the kind of the 1.5, 1.7, I think, something in that nature. So BYD is well over double of what Tesla does. And you can look at just this last quarter. This is just EVs because remember, BYD sells, I think they sell hybrid, regular, and electric vehicle. But even if you just want to look at just electric vehicle, last quarter, BYD selling 650,000, Tesla selling 440,000. So like officially, BYD sells more cars than Tesla, both like total cars and in terms of just electric vehicles. Because what the Tesla people try to do, the fanboys and fangirls, they say, oh, no, you just got to look at electric vehicles. You can't compare Teslas to other cars. But it's just like, from a consumer standpoint, if you're going to buy a car, they're all in the same market. It's a car. you just decide which one you want to get. So I showed you two different ways to look at it. On top of that, he's getting more pushback from China. This is also coming out today. China tells UN Elon Musk Starlink satellites pose safety and security risk. And this is actually a big deal because Elon's getting beat, say, from the car part from China with BYD and other brands. And then also, if China starts, and I've been seeing this reports, putting out satellites and other things that compete with Elon Musk's SpaceX, man, he's in real trouble. And China could put pressure onto other countries to be like, hey, don't do business with Elon. You could totally do that. They have a lot of power over him. This is what it says. It says, Beijing has warned the United Nations that the rapid expansion of Elon Musk's Starlink satellite constellations in low Earth orbit pose, quote, a pronounced and safety security concerns globally, right? There's another quote. With the rapid expansion of commercial space activities, the unchecked proliferation of commercial and satellite and constellations by certain companies, so they don't say name it by name, in the absence of effective regulation, has given rise to pronounced safety and security challenges. So this is actually a really serious thing for Elon. And this is something that I always point out, and I want to make it really clear, especially for people who like Elon. Elon will never say anything bad about the Chinese Communist Party. He doesn't ever say anything bad about the government over there because he's in bed with them, right? He's basically bows to them. I want to make sure that's really clear. He has factory over there in Shanghai. And if Elon Musk was really concerned about free speech and these kind of things, why doesn't he ever say anything about China? It's a legitimate question. Please tell me. And you'll know why, because he doesn't care actually about free speech at all. Elon Musk is basically a hypocrite, a liar, etc. So he's getting pushed back, though, major in China. And also, he's facing major problems here in Korea. So Korea, actually, this is unusual for us. Here, read the headline. It says, CEO's unusual, quote, Samsung is back remark galvanizes Korea tech. So, and you guys probably know this, right? You may know, say, who the CEO of Apple is or of, say, Tesla, but you won't necessarily know the CEOs of Korean companies. It's just, it's a different culture here. Just people don't rush out on stage and need to wave chainsaws around or wear sunglasses and be addicts. It's just a different environment. But, so this statement just literally just came out today is basically saying, hey, that they're really trying to ramp up their image. And it's interesting because I think Elon Musk and Tesla are really failing in Korea because this also came out today. Tesla cuts Model 3 and Model Y prices by up to 9.4 million won in Korea. That's really, really significant. The cars sell for around, I want to say it's around like 60 million won, something of that nature, and up. I'll say and up. But this is a pretty big cut. I'll give you the actual prices. The conversion, 9.4 million won, is at the moment about $6,600, so something like that. And to just give you an idea, it says the Model 3 performance all-wheel drive has been reduced by 9.4 million to 59.99. So in the past, and it was like basically 69 million, and now it's 59 million, right? So let's give you a general idea. Then the long range Y, they reduced that by like 3.1 million. And then the Model Y Premium, they reduced that by 3 million. So I guess the Model 3 is the one that they're trying to unload. I also want to show you this, a perspective of what selling cars are here like in Korea. So have a watch. And we have a Mini right behind me that's also really popular here in Korea. The Mini actually has a bunch of different models. I'm just showing you guys different ways that we buy cars here. It's different than what you may find in USA because we don't really have like big lots of like these big parking lots and things. We also have Leica right behind me, as you can see it. That's the camera store. And the Leica store is connected to the Mini store. And you can see here also we got Rolls-Royce and Leica right there. There is a Maserati and a Ferrari. And then right behind me is the BMW dealership. This is actually pretty big here. You can see there's plenty of BMWs inside. And then I don't know if you can see it right behind me there. They got the BMW motorcycles, which is kind of interesting. I don't remember seeing that stuff in the USA. If they sell BMW motorcycles where you are, please let me know. And sometimes the Elon Musk fanboys and fangirls think there's only one car brand in the world, but I hate to break it to you guys, there's a lot of brands. BMW is really popular here. And you can see what traffic looks like as cars go by. You'll see lots of different brands. I'll show you guys which ones. There's Audi, Kia, That's a Kia, Hyundai, there's a Mercedes. Showing you guys we got different brands here in Korea. There's a Kia, that looks like a Genesis, that was a Hyundai. I think that was Renault, I believe, because we do have French cars here. Hyundai, Kia, there's a Tesla, you can see it right there. There goes a Mini, there's a Kia, there's a Hyundai. That one should be a Genesis, I think. Yeah, that's a GV60. Hyundai. There's the minivan. People always ask me about that. We do have them here. That's Hyundai. Many of the taxis are Hyundai. And then you can see from the other side, Hyundai, there's a Porsche right there, BMW, there's a BMW, Kia, there's a Mercedes right there. And this is what traffic looks like in Korea. If you've never seen it, this is here in Busan. Just want to give you a flavor. We got a lot of different brands. Yes, the Korean brands do very, very well. We do sell the Chinese cars here, the BYDs, but they just got started. And if I see more on the road, I'll let you know. I don't see that many BYDs on the road, but they are here. So then Elon Musk is getting beat down, both in space, say from China, also cars from China, and then here in Korea, getting beat down by the car industry in Korea. And so then Elon's off doing Twitter stuff, basically tweeting racist stuff nonstop. I'll just be frank with you guys. Just a few hours ago, he's talking about the white population percentage and stuff like that. This is what he spends his time on. And someone asked me before, why don't you talk about Elon's racist antics nonstop? It's just, I don't want to necessarily share all his tweets all the time. And it's just mustache party stuff, right? If you want to look at that stuff, you can. It's all public, but I'll just give you a flavor. That's the stuff he talks about. And here's the thing, guys. You may or may not know this, but not every country in the world wants Elon Musk and USA propaganda and fake news all over their airwaves. And this is actually a pretty big deal here. I'll read the headline, I'll explain it to you. Korea in talks with the US over, quote, anti-fake news law. So basically what it boils down to is the USA and frankly Elon Musk, or you can want to talk about Zuckerberg, whatever, those type of companies make a bunch of money off fake news, be it bots and that type of advertising. And in some places in Korea, for example, they have laws in place that don't want that kind of stuff, And so there's a fight over with that. So the Trumpers are like, oh, you have to take our fake news. That's part of our business. And Korea's like, no, we can make laws about not having that. And I'll just give you a simple example. What if Elon Musk puts out whatever story against whatever politician or against whatever CEO that's completely fake, or encourages the algorithm to pump up fake video or fake photos, right? Can you see how this stuff would need to be regulated? At least in my opinion, it should be. I'll read a little bit so you get a sense. It says, discussion is ongoing between Seoul and Washington over amendments to Korea's Information and Networks Communication Act, as the U.S. has expressed concern over the potential impact it may have on American businesses, right? Then it says, he said that Washington's concerns were partly reflected in the final text, but not extent it might have hoped. Basically, again, the USA just wants more fake news to be spread. The law amended on December 24, 2025, so this is a recent thing, introduces criminal penalties for the distribution of false or manipulated information online. The government and lawmakers of the ruling Democratic Party of Korea claim the overhaul was necessary to respond to, quote, social harms in today's digital environment and strengthen protection for users. And this is the U.S. pushback. Because remember, the Americans want to spread fake news, basically. The U.S. State Department and other groups have been critical of the proposed changes in a response sent to the Korean media outlets. The State Department, this is the U.S., said that it had, quote, serious concerns about the law, warning that it could negatively affect U.S.-based online platforms like Google, Facebook, and weaken freedom of expression, and would also include Elon Musk. So again, they're fighting over, the Americans want more fake news, more bots, more basically garbage from Elon Musk. And, places like Korea have, serious penalties for that kind of stuff. And they're talking about criminal. Because, like, I give you a simple example. And every country is going to be different. Just for example, if I take, an image and let's say adult content or violent content or whatever, and I just make a fake image using, someone else's face and just make fake stuff, is that legal in your country? Would you consider that free speech? Or if I make videos about people that, saying things they never said or stuff like that, is that illegal in your country? And this is actually really serious ramifications. There's some crazy person, and it happens to where I think it was at a school, and they would use pictures of their classmates and put it on basically adult content and then sell that to like other people via Telegram or whatever. This is so ridiculous, but that's the crazy world that we live in. It's like stuff that, you know, in my opinion, again, should be regulated. But I understand Elon Musk makes money off of fake news. I get that. I'm not stupid. And, you know, everyone's got to make a decision on what you consider to be free speech. To me, it's obvious, but, you know, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. So I do appreciate your time, everyone. That's what's going on. And I'll catch you all in the next video.